Morning traders, welcome to Trading Together. I'm Mel Gacee. Today is Tuesday, March the 31st. How's everybody doing today? Here, and it's your first time, I want to say I'm so glad that you're here and welcome. This is a place for traders of all levels. I especially love helping newer traders on their journey. So this is a place to ask your questions, to jump in and put your comments in here, and I'm going to help you any way that I can. We're going to take some live trades today for educational purposes. I'm not recommending anything, but if you do choose to follow, you follow at your own risk. That's my disclaimer. This is an educational stream. It's follow my trades, and I'm going to let you into my thought process, and hopefully we're going to learn together. So welcome everybody. Val is here. Good morning, Val. And Dana, good morning. And Bill. Hi guys. Thank you so much for saying hi. I appreciate you being here. All right, let's take a look at these charts. What just happened, guys? We some of us were together a little bit ago, and what did I say right before I signed off? Do you guys remember what I said? Watch out for this double top. Do you see it? This is a classic double top. It's also known as a letter M pattern. M for murder. That's how I learned it when I was first trading. M stands for murder. So we had this double top happen, and then boom, this drop. And I did warn earlier, it is possible that they play some games today. I do think overall the trend is up. I do think so. But is it possible that they give us some shenanigans? Yes, it sure is, because here we are looking at it. So right now, we got this little, not quite a double bottom, not too far though. We came all the way down to 638 on the SPY, and now we are pushing back up. So let's see how far they take this. We are back to the VWAP, trying to test it. So if we get a nice push up here through the VWAP, we could consider calls, even though the move started basically down here. Gavilan is here. Good morning. Good to see you. But this, I think, I do get us up here toward the top. I think that's the goal. And here's a nice little push. I happen to be in a trade right now that I'm going to try to get out of as we speak. Come on, guys, give me an out. There we go. Beautiful. I'm out. Boom. Very nice. Oh, that was a good trade. All right. Emerald Plumber is here. Good morning. And Dan is here. Good morning. Good to see you guys. So look at these shenanigans, guys. Just exactly for those of you who are with me earlier, exactly what I said. Watch the double top, watch them give us some push down, and then try to pull it back up. I had a feeling. That's okay. That's all right. We can, this is the beauty, guys. So for those of you now, most of you with me here have been with me for a while. You know how I trade. You know what I think. You know how I think. But for those of you who don't, I am a scalper. I'm a day trader. I am in and out very quickly. I'm looking for 0 days to expiration on my options that I choose. That means the options that I purchase, I'm a buyer of options on this stream. The options that I purchase are for today's expiration. There are only a couple of products that will allow you to do that. SPY being one, IWM, QQQ. Some of them are moving toward 3 times a week. So I think GLD, SLV, there's a few more that are moving to the 3 times a week expiration. Eventually, everybody's going to be everyday expiration, round the clock trading. That is coming, guys, but I digress. My style is scalping. I'm in and out quickly. I pivot quickly. I'm quick on my feet, and I'm looking for today's expiration. So the beauty of a day like today, when you are a scalper, is you get to play both sides. I played this call on the way up over here. I played this call. I played this put. I played this call, and I didn't get stuck. Now, I won't lie. The call I got in before the turnaround. So I won't lie. That was a bit of a challenge there for a minute. But the point is, we can be light on our feet. We can pivot when we see the market do its shenanigans. We don't have to be at the market's mercy. Here's the benefit the retail trader has over the institutional trader. Institutional traders are the big boys. These are the guys with the big money, with the hedge funds, with just huge institutions, right? The JP Morgans and so forth. Huge, right? These guys are behemoths. They are whales. They cannot move light on their feet like we can. The retail trader, and specifically the scalper day trader, we can move light on our feet. We're fast, in and out, boom, boom, boom. Big money cannot do that, because what happens if a big behemoth goes out there and tries to drop their sell order on the market? What happens? What do you want when you're selling? You want the highest price, right? When they go out there and they dump their millions and billion-dollar sell order on the market, what happens? Boom, the market crashes against them. The second they try to start selling, boom, that market's going to drop against them. They cannot. They have to sell in chunks. They have to move slowly. It's a big cruise ship. It's a big old whale with a big cruise ship trying to turn. It takes time. We are light on our feet. We're little hang gliders, right? We can just, boom, go where we want. So that is one of the only advantages that the retail trader has over the institutional trader is we're light on our feet. We can move in and out, right? We see this drop, we trade it. We see this rise, we trade it. And that is how I've developed my strategy. It's not the only strategy. It's not the best strategy. There are many strategies out there. This is how I've developed my strategy, and it works for me. I'm profitable. This is what I do for a living. I trade for a living. I love it. I love the markets. I'm addicted. And this is how I make my money. And I do pretty well at it, if I say so myself. Biz is here. Good morning, Guy. Good to see you. All right. So let's take a look. Like I said, I already traded this call. Would I trade it again with this push over the VWAP? Maybe I might. Lower high reversal here. I don't think so, Dan. I think today is a bullish day. Now, I don't have to be right. Don't trade on that. Could they drop it again? They sure could, but I really don't think so. I think that we are moving back up toward the high. Doesn't have to be on this move. We could come down and do some, as Dan suggested, lower high. But I think we're moving back up toward the top. That's my guess. We don't trade that. That's only my big picture. What we trade is what the charts are giving us. And right now, the charts are giving us a run, a move up. All right, John Stewart. Hey, good to see you. Thanks for joining. I love it. Thanks, guys, so much. Makes me feel like I'm not out here trading by myself. And I appreciate having all my old friends here with me. Love it, love it. Thanks, guys. All right. So right now we're getting this up move. Like I said, I already traded that call, did well on it, traded this put, did well on it. I'm actually having a great day today. All right. Do we want to trade a break of this high? We could. I think they want to bring it back up to these highs over here at 642 and beyond. I am going to look at some calls here at the 642 level. No, sorry, 643. 641 calls. 641 calls is what I'm looking at. And this move is a little bit old, so I want to be careful, not get stuck at the top of a move. Let's see what we get here. The VIX is down, but still elevated. So this is what we always keep in our side view mirror. What is going on with the VIX? The VIX is down on the day 10%. It's a good drop because yesterday we were up over 31. So it's sitting right now at 27.5, down on the day by 10%. That's a good drop. Very, very good drop. However, it is still elevated in the grand scheme of things. Okay, I am going to jump on this call real quick. I'm in. Again, this is for educational purposes. You follow at your own risk. I'm not recommending anything. I'm out. That was, let's take a peek. 221 to 239. I got in at $2.21. I got out at 239. So basically, what is that? 18 cents on a 22. So almost 10%. Very nice. That was a good trade. If you followed, I would love to hear about it. But this, again, is for educational purposes. You don't have to follow. This is only what I'm doing, thinking through what I'm doing here, and not making recommendations. I'm just showing you how I do it, okay? All right, Val got 9. All right, Val, nicely done. I think that's what I got too, 9 or 10, not quite 10. I'm also sitting on some NVIDIA calls that I bought earlier today that are up a little bit. They're up about 3% right now. I'm going to sit on those a little bit longer. Okay, so look at this V-shaped recovery. What a bunch of hooey. What a bunch of shenanigans. And you know what, guys? I did call it. I really did. I said they could drop this thing, but I think they'll pull it back up. And that is, like I said, the classic letter M, the classic double top, boom. They played their games because what did they do yesterday? Well, they did this for real, right? Yesterday, we popped up. We did get a gap up, and then they pulled it down. And that was for real. They kept it down. But today, it was a game, right? They pulled it down. They sucker everybody in over here with the calls, with our gap up, and then boom, they pull it against you long and hard so that you've got to stop out. And then boom, they put it right back where they wanted it in the first place. That is nothing but shenanigans and market makers trying to steal retail money. So don't fall for their baloney. We did not fall for their baloney, and I'm having a fantastic day. I hope you are too. All right, getting a little slow down here. Where are we right now, guys? We are sitting right on the high of day from yesterday as it was recorded on the futures. The high of day from yesterday on the SPY was at 640. So we're a little bit over that on the SPY, but we're right here on the futures. And those get measured a little bit differently because of the way that the futures runs and the way that the SPY runs. So you will see that those get measured slightly differently. I track both. It's important to track both. Usually they're not too far off of each other. You can see our high of day on the SPY is over here, slightly below our price action, with our overnight high right at it. And here you can see the high of day on the futures is just right at our price action. And here is our overnight high on the futures. So usually pretty close, but not exact is the way that works. And I do track both. All right. So right up here at the top, getting real close. Let's see what we do when we get up here. My feeling is we ought to break on through. Sounds like a rock song I used to love. Break on through to the other side. So I think that we could come up here and hit this top. The top sits, the top, tippy top, sitting at 642.9, but the practical top sitting right here at 642.5. And we're just below it at 642.0. My NVIDIA call just doing nothing. Come on. Let's take a quick look at NVIDIA. I'm just kind of hovering up here towards same kind of chart, similar chart, kind of hovering up here, getting close to its top. I have my limit order set right at the top for NVIDIA at 171. So we'll see. I imagine it'll get there at some point today. Andrew, are you still in a call? No, sir. Absolutely not. I made really good money on the last call I was in, and I got out as we pushed up over this VWAP, took a nice profit there. Are you in anything, Andrew? Getting a little slow down here. 50%. Beautiful. Very nice. Glad to hear it. All right. Our VIX is no longer sinking. It's kind of going sideways, and we can see the last one. Yeah. We can see that we are slowing down at this top, and our VIX is giving us a little signal that, oops, we could be coming down. Do we want to trade a put to the downside? We're starting to get signals, but the MACD hasn't quite rolled over yet. So we're going to give that a minute. Do I think we could come all the way back down here? It is possible, but I doubt it. I think this would be the lower, higher low. All right, strong red candle here. MACD's still not rolling over, but the VIX is giving us a pop. Remember that the VIX, if you're new here, I watch the VIX day in and day out. I always watch the VIX because the VIX is what gives us the pulse of the market. It's what tells us where investors are, what they're feeling, right? The VIX is, believe it or not, an emotional index. It is the volatility index, also known as the fear gauge or the fear index. And so the VIX gives us the market pulse. Are participants afraid? Are they scared? Are they jittery? Are they happy? Are they complacent? When the market is jittery or scared, the VIX goes up and the market goes down. When the market is happy or complacent, and we're in a risk-on appetite, we want to just buy, the VIX will come down and the market will come up. Right now, the VIX is giving us on the minute chart. Now, I look at all different time frames on the VIX, but on the minute chart currently, we are getting this little push, which is corresponding with this little drop here. We are getting signals for a put. I don't think I'm going to take it unless we come down and cross this VWAP. This white line here is the VWAP. I think I'd rather wait for another push up, but let's see. Let's see what we get. The MACD is turning red. Yep, Andrew, but I'm not biting because, first of all, we're on a green candle. And second of all, we're right over this VWAP. So I want to see this thing either drop down through the VWAP or turn and go up, give us a check mark, a Nike swoosh is what I think we're going to get. All right, I am going to load some calls here. The 641 level, I'm not in them. We need confirmation. And if they turn and drop this down and break down through the VWAP, then we'll consider puts. But right now, I'm looking for them to turn it and push it upward. There we go. And if they push it hard, we're going to miss the move. Sometimes that is the price we pay. When we wait for confirmation, we miss the move, but it'll save you from some bad trades too. So confirmation for me is going to be seeing the MACD roll over, seeing these moving averages come on up through the hull right here. That's what I want to see happen. And by the time that happens, we're probably going to be testing this top here, which could be a no-go. So I have to consider that when we get there. VIX is starting to tell us it wants to move down a little bit, meaning that the market wants to move up. We're getting this little tiny move down here on the VIX with the corresponding move up on the SPY. No confirmation yet, and we're right at the top here, so it's a little higher risk because do you see our top right here? Here and here is our current top. We don't have much room between where we are and the top. And then we've got a recent swing top right here, swing high. So we've got to watch all of these things. And that makes the risk a little riskier, right? Because we don't have a lot of room and it can turn and reverse on us. This is why we got to wait for that confirmation. Okay, coming down, coming down. I'm going to look for puts if we cross the VWAP. So remember, if you're not familiar with the VWAP, that is one of my favorite indicators. Stands for the volume weighted average price. It's really nothing more than a moving average, but it has a calculation that gives it weight, moves it with more weight when we have accelerated volume. So I really do like that about the VWAP. It is, like I said, a moving average, but it gives us weight according to our volume. And usually the MACD will act as a bit of a magnet. You can see price many times return to the VWAP. Here we are right on it right now, sitting right on it. So I'm just waiting and watching. If we get a bounce from here, I'll look for calls. If we get a break of the VWAP, I might consider puts, although I'm not sure I believe them. Not sure I believe this downward move. We'll wait and see. Wait for our confirmation. Here we are at the VWAP again. And another bounce. I do still have my calls loaded. I am still looking at, I'm going to move over to the 640s. I'm going to load the 640 calls. Just looking, waiting for my confirmation. To turn red. I want the moving averages to start curling upward. And if we're not going to move upward, I want to see a break of the VWAP to the downside. So what a wild ride this morning. This morning with about, if I'm not incorrect, about a 70-point gap up on the S&P 500. That was pretty good. No charts. All right, thanks guys. So I guess Vimeo. Oh, that's weird. I see the charts, but let me stop the share and try it again. That's weird. It looked to me like I was sharing it, but let's do it again. There we go. Is that better, guys? See, I thought Vimeo was the only one. I guess it's not. I guess all these chart sharing platforms do the same thing, huh? Irritating. All right. Thanks, David. Appreciate it. All right. Break of the VWAP right here. Let's watch it. We're also sitting on the overnight high for the ES. See what we get here. VIX giving us a little pump, just a little one, sitting at 27.7. I am not pivoting over to puts just yet. In fact, I'm not really super keen on a put here, even with this break of the VWAP. Doesn't mean we can't go back down, but I'm going to give it some time. And let's take a look at our leaderboard. What's going on here? Silver up almost 5% today, trading at 66. Meta up 3.6%. I'm watching. I get distracted with the charts, but I'm watching. NVIDIA up 3%. Tesla up 2.3%. The Magnificent Seven as a whole, that ETF that I like to track, is up 2.3%. And Russell, as far as the indices go, the Russell is leading the charge here, up at, where'd you go, Russell? 1.5%. The NASDAQ up at 1.4%. There's a break there. There we go. Okay. Now is this tradable? I don't know. Yeah, so we're behind the NASDAQ, and then we're at 1.3%, and the Dow is behind us at 0.99%, or basically 1. Okay. All right. Let's see what we're doing here. Looks like they're, See if we can try to recover that VWAP, or we're just going to drop again. Could it be? Yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay. VIX sitting at 27.7. Here we are back to the VWAP. Right here, this white line. We haven't crossed it to the upside yet, so no real reversal at this point. No confirmation of the reversal yet. Although that's a nice green candle. Little drop on the VIX. We like that. I'm still holding my 640 calls. I still like them. There we go. I like this here. Let's wait for this candle to finish and wait and make sure we actually do. Okay, we are reclaiming. All right, I'm going to jump on this call. I'm in it. This is, again, educational. I'm not recommending anything. I'm just doing this to teach you how I do it. All right, just move back up to the top of that wick. Hopefully it does. Hopefully that wasn't a psych out. Here we go. Yeah, looking a little wobbly there. Come on. Just kind of playing here on this candle. Here we go. All right, I'm going to jump out here at tiny win. I think it's 2% maybe. I think we're going up some more. My NVIDIA is up as well. I'm going to load calls one more time, but I'm not necessarily going to trade them. I'm loading the 641s right now. Let's see what we get here. If we get another push, I might jump in real quick. Okay. All right, I'm going to try one more call here. I'm in. Again, this is for educational purposes. Follow at your own risk. I'm only showing you how I do it, not recommending or telling you to take the trade. just kind of hovering here. All right, let's see if we can get a little push up. It's just kind of hovering here. Back to the VWAP. And a little bounce. All right, there's a little move. We're just kind of playing here. There's a little move. There we go. Come on now. Okay. They're just kind of dragging it sideways at the moment. We should get another test of this top at some point. Doesn't have to be now, but that should be in the works. They're just kind of holding it here. All right, another attempt at a push. Let's see. So my trade is down about 12%. I'm okay with giving this some space. And the question is, how long do they pull it sideways? Sometimes it's a bit of time. Usually I don't love sitting in trades for more than a couple of minutes, but sometimes we get stuck. And this is a time where it's just they're pulling sideways, slightly downwards. And this is one of those times when you just have to wait it out, which I don't love, but it is what it is. And our VIX is also giving us just tiny little candles here. Not really giving us much direction. There's a little pop there. We're back to the VWAP. Right there. There's a break. And our MACD very flat, just turning red a little bit here. Very flat on that, on this move right in here. All right, testing this swing low right here. A little bounce on the VIX there. All right, let's see if we come back up and recapture that VWAP. Two. All right, little push again. And right now we're just sitting basically right in the middle of this high and this low. We're right down the middle. That's what's happening here. It's a little bit of consolidation. It's a little bit of a, this is a triangle. You can see this is creating a triangle point here. It's a consolidation pattern. Trying to hold the overnight high right now. That's this yellow line right here, the overnight high. That's not what I meant to do. All right, let's see if we bounce off this overnight high or we're just going to continue to slowly move downward. There's a little push. There we go. That's better. Little reclaim of the VWAP there. That's good. Let's see if we can hold it. Okay. So you see the triangle I'm talking about here? We have a rising bottom and we have a lowering top, descending top. That is consolidation, and basically it's price kind of tightening up, coiling up for a move. All right. Again, reclaim of the VWAP. Let's see if we can hold it this time. Here we go. Looking better. Got a little ways to go yet for my trade to turn around. I'm feeling pretty okay about it. Here we go. Little reclaim of the VWAP so far. Let's keep going. What we need to do is come up here and challenge this recent high. It's moving fast. There we go. That's nice. So we're challenging this recent high right here. Strong push. Big volume bar. All right, another push. Got the MACD turning green here. This is really nothing more than range-bound behavior. Very, very common. And so it doesn't have to beat this top right now if we're going to sit in a range for a while. That's part of the problem. But that was a strong push with some volume. There we go. And options today have been very challenging. I don't know if y'all are noticing, the pricing has been pretty difficult. The pricing has been challenging. All right, Dan, how do you determine if it's a bullish or a bearish pennant? It's very hard, Dan. You have to take into consideration the bias for the day. You have to look at the way it began to form, what direction it began to form from, and kind of look at the volumes on the breakouts. But honestly, you really have to just wait for the breakout. And that's really hard. But it's a great question, Dan. Thank you. Andrew, seems sideways. Exactly, Andrew. You're exactly right. That is what a triangle is. It's sideways continuation. All right, back to the VWAP. Don't like it. Nope, range is the kryptonite of the day traders. Sideways range is the hardest to trade, the most challenging. And I'm with you, Andrew. I don't like it either. All right. So let's see if we can beat this top again. Just like I said, this is the top that they had to beat last time. They did not. They didn't beat the bottom either. So this was the bottom. They didn't beat the bottom. This was the top. They met it, but they didn't beat it. So this triangle is just getting more and more narrow. The point of the triangle is right here. It's getting very, very narrow. It will choose a side. And we are again right on the VWAP, right here. Tiny moves here. Nothing. All right, there we go. There's a move. I'm going to. That's a little break of that low that we just saw. I am considering a quick put here, even while I'm holding the call, but I'm going to watch this candle. Nothing to do in these situations but wait and watch. $64.23 is where we're sitting on the SPX. 639, almost 640 on the SPY. It's not letting it go just yet. Not letting it drop. All right, so we are getting close to the end of the stream. Let me explain my thought process. I'm still feeling pretty bullish on the day, even though we've got this movement going on right now. It is slightly downward. The triangle's breaking to the downside. I am probably going to average this call when we start moving back up. And I am open to puts here. I could take a put right here and still hold the call. I will probably average whenever we start getting signals to the upside. And as far as the rest of the day goes, I'll be watching, trading these directional levels. That's what I'll be doing today. So that again, if hopefully that's clear, but basically the down moves and the up moves, I want to be light on my feet. I am holding the call at the moment, but again, I'm feeling okay with that. I think we're going to be fine. I think we're going to move up again and challenge this top one more time. But as we get those signals to the upside, I will probably average this trade. So basically averaging just means buying more at a lower price. That's probably what I'll wind up doing. I hope you all had a good experience here this morning. We'll be back again tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. And again, so watch this for the move to the upside. When the MACD rolls over or when we cross the VWAP, I'll probably go ahead and average, and that's a nice little move there. We don't quite have the confirmation yet, but we should here in just a minute. Looks like it's going to try to push it up. All right, guys, I appreciate you, and we will be back again tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. I hope you all had a great day, and I loved being here and trading for you today, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.